Okay, so let's just quickly talk about some of the kind of new areas of finance that have really taken off in the last 2 years. Area number one, what I'm going to call the consumer stocks. I mean, I heard about AMC and GameStop, and I have literally no idea what happened there. So, what was like the background story to what happened with those particular kind of stocks?
So those are definitely like more exceptions to the rule than normal stocks. Like I mean, that's a whole conversation itself. But like, in like just a quick gist of what it was like basically like there were stocks that were over shorted, and for years like hedge funds and other people that are basically there's buying a stock and then there's shorting a stock. If you buy a stock, then you want it to go up, and like if it goes up, you make money. But shorting a stock is if it goes down, you make money. So if you short a stock at $10 and it goes to $5, then you actually made $5. But
Okay.
theoretically, if it goes up, your losses are infinite because you owe that money. Like if it's at $10 and it goes up to $30 and you were shorting it, you now owe $20.
Got it. So is this the game that hedge funds were playing basically for
Yeah, they were
years?
based, but the catch is if it goes to zero, you don't have to pay taxes. Like taxes are minimal. Like that was just like a scheme that hedge funds were doing, that like they would just bankrupt, like let's say a company was like struggling, and then they would just go all in, short it like crazy, and then drive it down even harder, and then it would end up just getting bankrupt, and they would have to, like, once they declare bankruptcy, then there's like a lot of tax avoiding stuff, so they would like end up making a killing on it.
So, and
But
we're not talking in the hundreds of millions of dollars. We were talking about significant amounts of money.
yeah, that's what happened to Toys R Us. I think Blockbusters, like other big companies, definitely Toys R Us and some other like.
So all this private money came into the marketplace, basically, it's private equity type of thing. They would buy companies that weren't doing great and basically run them into the ground.
It would short companies, not buy.
Okay, short. Could you translate clearly what shorting actually means? Like, use an example
I
of
think it's
like,
kind of like it's like you're betting that it's going to go down. Like it's kind of
okay,
like selling it, and then if it goes down, then you make money. But
okay,
if it goes up, then your losses are like if it, like I said, like if it the stocks at, let's say Toys R Us is at $10 a share and it goes down to $0, then you made $10. Like you're able to
okay.
make like,
But if it goes up to $50,
and now
you're responsible for that $40, the
yeah,
difference.
exactly.
Okay, got it.
Hedge
All
funds
right.
had so much money and influence, or like other companies that were like shorters, that they were just able to put in like a lot of money and like drive companies to the ground. And that's for the money. Like that's jobs that are now going, like that are now like people's lives are getting ruined by stuff like that. Like if you're a Toys R Us manager, like now you just don't have a job.
So
And
so what happened with when Corona hit and everyone's at home and on
yeah, I mean,
Reddit and
exactly. Like
what happened?
before there was no way to like really like stop them because they had so much money and influence and power.
And
But
also they had lots of shares that they had.
yeah, but
Okay.
now that there's Reddit, so like over the past few years, like especially over COVID, like people are just born at home, and there's these like we could definitely go into this more, like different like social media platforms for like stocks, like StockTwits, Reddit, Reddit being a big one. Obviously like Wall Street Bets is big, and a lot of people on these Wall Street Bets is like I'm not a Reddit expert, but like Wall Street Bets is like a group
A group
on
within
Reddit.
Reddit.
Yeah, like you can like make posts and then people can comment and see what's going on. So like Wall Street Bets is like a really interesting platform where like people literally just post like, oh, I just like did some crazy moves and lost on a lot of money, or I did some crazy moves and I made a lot of money, or like they just post ideas. Like so some
And these
people
aren't necessarily true. It could be someone making it up, right? Theoretically.
screenshots of what it is.
Okay, so people would post, and these were private individuals who were posting their moves.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty interesting. It would like feel like for you and I, maybe like I wouldn't feel so comfortable just like putting it out to the world, like, oh, all my like investments. But like Reddit kind of became like a community where like it was just a lot of open discussions, and like people were like fine like showing all their financial stuff, like it's like an interesting
so then what happened from there that kind of made this work?
yeah. So a lot of people were like realized that GameStop, even though it was struggling, it got way over shorted. Like if you're able to look at the short interest, like basically it showed like how, like let's say the short interest, like right now AMC is at 20%. So that means like I think out of all the stocks owned, 20% of them are shorted stocks. So people like out of like the 350 million shares, like 20% of them are being shorted. Like people think it's going to go down.
People think it's going to go down. Okay.
Yeah. And they saw GameStop was at like 140%, which is not possible. So people realized that there was like, it was over shorted.
Okay.
Like, so all these people on Reddit and like other places were like, hey, let's buy shares of GameStop and force the shorts and drive the price up. And like I said, like when you're shorting and the price goes up, your losses are infinite. Like if
so, basically, some institutional investors probably had overshorted GameStop.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like, trying to, because if it went to zero, it doesn't matter if they overshorted it. They won.
They were then declared bankruptcy and they win. They win.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, basically, this mob on Reddit, for lack of a better description,
like just bought up a lot of GameStop, and then it drove the price up like crazy, and it went from like $10 to $40. And then from there, now the hedge funds owe like $30, and then they have to cover. But if no one but when you cover, you have to like sell your shorts. But if you sell your shorts, there has to be a buyer, and no one was like buying it, so it just kept making the price go up and up and up.
So people who got in at the beginning, like of this thing, if they bought the share at whatever $130 and it went up to $200-300, whatever it went up to, they were making all that money. These weren't short positions; these were actual stock buys. Wow.
Right, that was buys, but the shorters that like
they lost.
Yeah, but then there was a whole controversy where it was doing so well that the Robinhood and other companies got rid of the buy button because there's nothing to do.
So that's something everybody, I've heard about.
I've never seen that happen. Like
where basically it almost seems like the game is rigged. In other words, at a certain point, somebody told somebody, "Hey, you got to stop this."
Yeah, because like basic economics, like there's supply and demand. Like, if there's also like supply, demand, and price. Like if there's a lot of demand, then the price goes up. Like if everyone wants to buy a water bottle, the price of that water bottle is going to be a lot of money. So what everyone was trying to buy GameStop because like they saw like this crazy run up going, and then all of a sudden the buy button's gone. So you get rid of the demand, like just by the fact that there's literally no way to buy. Like there's only sell. So then the price went down, and that was able to like mitigate it. I mean, it's still trading at over like nearly $200, which is insane because it's.
And the fact of the matter is, most people feel the company itself, the actual company, is almost worth nothing in terms of the business that the company actually does, and the numbers of stores they have, and things like that.
Right. That's like all like a weird case. Like I don't like this is never gonna happen. Like I'm not saying it's never gonna happen again because I think we're gonna see more of it in the next year. But I think in the next few years, like once like there's going to be new regulations and stuff, like it's going to be tough to.
So we can't do that, basically. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So that was.
Hopefully, hedge funds won't be able to overshort companies, which is also just not right. Like, those jobs are at stake.
Right, and they were basically rigging the system, is kind of what it was.
Right, and they got called out on their.
They got called out on it. So this now. But as a consumer who's using Robinhood, if all of a sudden this magical app that I can use to trade stocks stops working, is that something I need to be worried about, or was this really a very
I've been using Robinhood for a while, and like I like it a lot because it's like really simple to use, really good format, like really, it's kind of like a video game. Like they make it really fun to do. Like they show cool colors. It's a red day, your stocks are red, and it's like, oh no, when it's green. And like it goes up, it's a lot of fun. And then the buy button's really easy, which some people are worried about that. Like, they made it too much like a video game.
Well, we literally are living in Back to the Future 2 right now, basically. If you think about it. Literally, everything is sports gambling and all that stuff.
Yeah,
we're literally living in Back to the Future 2 for many reasons.
But again, I think it's all about like what you want to do. Like I think a healthy balance is, obviously playing mostly safe. And, you can obviously like go a little bit risky with some of your money, but like definitely don't do a lot of your money risky. And also when you take risks, like give yourself some time. Like, if you're like buying GameStop with the intention of selling it in a week, that's a lot riskier than someone who's buying GameStop with the intention of selling it in a year. Like if you're giving yourself a year to see what happens, then even if it goes down, it's not the worst thing. If like you're giving yourself a year for it to go back up.
I got it. Okay, and we're actually going to do that soon. I'm going to actually sign up for Robinhood and try recording it on my my phone to actually see how this works.